Catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.
Welcome to Tony's Tech Side. I'm here every weekday, 9 a.m. West African time till midday, streaming live on Africa Tech Radio's website, www.africatechradio.com. If you're listening to this as a podcast, well, what do I do here? Well, we learn tech, maybe a tech word, a tech term, or what's happening in the tech space. We dig deep into the rubbles of history and find precious jewels of knowledge to launch us into the future. And then we share the most important and juiciest tech stories impacting Africa to keep you informed. Well, I also have persons who come around and we just talk about how tech on the continent is, from founders to people who are just doing things, to employees, to those making a mark, to those making high-level decisions, like on the continent, relation to, say, the AFCFT and things like that. Basically, that's just what I do here every time. You can share your stories with the rest of us on WhatsApp, text, and or send us a voice note on 0913-558-1766. Please add +234 if you're texting from outside Nigeria. Well, the funniest thing I've heard this week is Google telling me, us, that we should Google whatever the AI, like Google's AI Bard, tells us. So in case you do something, you ask Bard a question and he says, this is it, ensure that you Google it. Isn't that funny? Like, why exactly did you make Bard? Come on. Well, considering the fact that Bard had already started making some slight little errors from like day one, it's good for you to Google the Google, like Google the Google AI, whatever that means. So, fun fact today, Botswana has offered to donate 8,000 elephants to Angola for the repopulation of the national parks in the country. Botswana has the highest number of elephants in the world. How many? Guess? Take a wild guess. 130,000. 130,000 elephants, and they are also being quite generous with it. Now, fun fact 2. South African smartphone subscribers have the fastest and most consistent connectivity services in Africa. Yes, you heard that right. According to Open Signal, it's an industry benchmarker, and they analyzed 15 African countries for this research: South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and Ghana, Cameroon, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Angola. And South Africans are connected to 4G and 5G services for the highest proportion of the time, with the fastest download speeds at 27.3 megabits per second. And this is 16.8% faster than those in second place, which is Morocco. Yeah, Morocco is in second place. Egypt and Kenya are in third place with download rates between 16.2 megabytes per second and 16.3 megabytes per second. Meanwhile, Moroccans have the fastest upload speed being recorded at 7.5 megabytes per second. The North African nation also has the best games experience and voice app quality. Sudan, yes, has the worst in both download and upload speeds being recorded on the continent. I didn't hear of Nigeria, the supposed giant of Africa, where you have almost like a very large percentage of people connected to the internet. So it means there's still a lot of work that has to go on in Nigeria, especially with the telcos and connectivity. There's a lot to be discussed around that because a lot of things actually depend on the internet now. But that's how we're going to start today. It's a Friday, mankind. Good vibes. Don't frown and don't let the monster see you frown. No, let the monster see you smile and wonder exactly what is happening. Friday feeling, guys. This is Tony's Tech Side. Yes, so the set of stories I'm about to share are the stories I think that rocked the tech space on the continent, say, this past week. And this is both global and local. Yeah. Yes, Namibia officially signed the law to regulate the virtual asset service providers, crypto, NFTs, and others that are operating in the country. This law was approved by Namibia's National Assembly on 6th of July, rather. And you're saying, oh, but it's not this week. Yeah. It was signed by the president on 14th of July and inserted into the Gazette of the Republic of Namibia on the 21st of July. Yep. So for now, we're not exactly sure how it's going to be put to use or implemented, right? And we're waiting for a statement by the Minister of Finance in Namibia to know how to move forward with it. As at the time when this news broke, yeah, like when it was inserted into the Gazette of the Republic of Namibia and then it went viral, we hadn't heard from the Central Bank of Namibia. You can call them the CBN too. And anything related to crypto and NFT, cryptos basically were not exactly regarded by the Central Bank of Namibia as a legal tender. But then all of those who are, everyone who's in the space has said that this is a good thing, for the fact that this recognition came, for the fact that it's a law now, it's a law, then it's really good. There's still a couple of countries, of course, there's a country who actually introduced that crypto into, and then after a while they repealed that and, had all the whole going back. They had a lot of enemies, let me just put it that way. And then there's some other countries too who have started, taxing or regulating in some way virtual assets, right? So, well, then that's out of the way. Now to Kenya, where the president, William Ruto, commissioned a 50,000 capacity electric bike plant built by green mobility company Rome. This kind of like solidifies Kenya's efforts to reducing the carbon footprint, and it's located in Nairobi. Where else will it be located in? This actually is news, this week, because it's East Africa's biggest assembly plant that you can think of. Yes, exactly. And also this week, the person who's driving the EV move in Nigeria, got an award, and it was really celebrated. And, big ups, Jelani, that's his name. Big ups, sir. I can say that's his name, but he's a sir. We show respect, from where we're from. Yes, and that is from Kenya. And then we go off to Nigeria, where the Corporate Affairs Commission said it will soon delete a total of 100,000 registered companies from its database because they have failed to file annual returns in the last 10 years. So they're going to be taken off the register, just in case you see something like that, just so that you know that this is what it is. And Nigeria also has some eNaira challenges or issues. The Central Bank of Nigeria this week announced plans to remodel its digital currency, the eNaira. CBN's acting governor, Folashodun Shonubi, said the move is geared towards encouraging increased usage, participation, and volumes. I have 3 different episodes with, guests I spoke to on the eNaira when it was a rave. You could check that out. Just go on the website and type eNaira and you see all the conversations we've had on the eNaira. Whether it was going to succeed, what it was going to take, whether it was even solving any problem at all, and the kind of problems, that it was, or maybe it was just laying the foundation for Nigeria to really make use of virtual assets. Remember I talked about virtual assets and Namibia. Well, virtual asset is still a thing in Nigeria, especially with the fact that banks for now still do not support crypto exchanges and whatnot. Now, the eNaira has endured a difficult time regarding acceptance and utilization amongst, citizens in Nigeria since its launch in October 2021. And the administration of the suspended CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, who is undergoing some, court cases, whatnot now, not related to his work at CBN, but something very unrelated, made several attempts to drive the adoption of the eNaira. But despite, all of these attempts, Nigerians haven't really found it appealing or useful. So where exactly is the usefulness? That's what I asked the last time. Well, the explicit details about the remodeling or the plan to remodel the digital currency called the eNaira in Nigeria by the acting governor of Nigeria's central bank is still not disclosed, but we're hoping that we'd get more information about this and then we would share, as soon as we do get it. Now, this is the money part that we've been talking about because almost everything are actually money. So we would get into socials and global news in a bit. Okay, so here we go. And this set of stories are social media related. They're also social related stories. And they're the set of stories I'm going to be sharing, starting with YouTube, right? I refer to these guys as the Sabi guys because they seem to have things figured out right now. We don't know if they're still going to be in the game, years after now, but for a few years they seem to have things figured out. YouTube revealed, based on its report, its most recent report, that over 2 billion users watch YouTube Shorts monthly. Wow. This was in Google's Q2 2023 result. 2 billion users. There are about 7 or 8 billion people in the world. And if you have at least how many percent? So there's a way, like someone I know who used to do this, and he's like, so if you can capture 1% of the market, that's literally all you need. Just 1% of the global market. And I'm like, oh, wow, my God. So we have people who are already doing that. This latest number means YouTube Shorts registered 500 million more views in the last year as the service attained 1.5 billion monthly logged in users in 2022. Damn, we're not even done with 2023, guys, and they're already doing what? 500 million more views. So, of course, YouTube qualifies as a Sabi guy. Now, the other Sabi guy is WhatsApp. WhatsApp this week extended its channels to 3 African countries: Kenya, Egypt, and Morocco. So this channel's features for broadcasts was expanded to 7 countries. Asides Egypt, Kenya, and Morocco, which are African countries, Chile, Malaysia, Ukraine, and Peru are the other countries who also be having access to it. Now, the announcement of channels was made through a tweet and a Threads, post sometime this week, and the feature was to allow people who follow different NGOs, medical research institutions, fact-checking bodies, and local authorities to get information. That's the whole idea, behind this thing called channels. And for example, your favorite football club, say Al Hilal, Al Ali, Enyimba FC. Yes, you can actually have their WhatsApp numbers, not the one, but like they're proper, and then they will send you messages about what they're doing and whatnot. This, for business is really, really great. Its channels is a one-way conversation. Yeah, the admins can just send text, photos, videos to people who are part of the channel, and it's located in the new updates tab where you as a user can access channels of global or local organizations and follow them as well. So no need saying, oh, you know what? Or maybe there's still the need for you to say, oh, put your email. We're going to keep you updated. That whole thing. Maybe you should start thinking channels as a new source of doing this. Also, last month, Instagram expanded its channels feature globally after testing it with a select set of new users. I know that this month alone, the number of people who have said, oh, you've been added to social person's channels. This is channels. I don't use in channels. And it's not the TV or, whatever you think. It's IG, literally. Now, another Sabi person or Sabi, social app in this space is TikTok. And this week, TikTok kind of like took a jab at Elon. Yeah. And it says, you know what? Users, you can share text-based content in addition to videos, photos, and duets on the platform. TikTok came in and totally took everyone by surprise, changed a lot of things, really quick content you can make. They give you tools that you can use to recreate videos, create your own unique kind of videos, and it's just endless doom scrolling thing where if you go, I know people who have deleted the TikTok app, not because they hate it, not because the content is bad, the content they get on there is bad, but just because they felt they were getting too attached to the app and they couldn't have it on their phone or their devices and not use the app. So they just had to delete it. Yep. And when you just throw them anything on, so they're like, swipe, because I am going to get stuck here. So TikTok said this week in a post, the inclusion of text posts to the platform seeks to push the boundaries of content creation for its users. With text posts, they're expanding the boundaries of content creation for everyone on TikTok, giving the written creativity we've seen in comments, captions, and videos a dedicated space to shine. Wow, so this is about to get lit, guys. Trust me. Now, finally, I'm talking Elon Musk. And I'm dedicating the next few 3 minutes to just Elon Musk. Yes. So, before now, like, it was announced that we're going to have Twitter change to X. I don't know why people still sounded very surprised. Like when they say, oh, Twitter is now X. If you open it's now X, I'm like, oh, but he actually said something like this, like early on. He usually is like a talk now, do kind of guy. That's what I think Elon is. Now, when we started this weekend, what we started the weekend with was the rebranding of Twitter and the iconic bird logo. So the people I give it up to are those people, I can't remember the name, but it's an international tech blog. They put the X, right, and put the bird under, and it was like the that Satan don't fall for ground, and like the an angel is like matching Satan. Exactly. That's what they did with the X and the bird. So the X was big and the bird was just underneath, and the X, one of the X's leg, the right one, was taking life out of the bird. When Musk bought Twitter last year, 2022, he laid out a vision for an everything app, like a super app called X. Users could communicate, shop, consume content, entertainment, and even more. And last June, prior to his takeover, Musk told Twitter employees that the platform should be more like China's WeChat, where he said users basically live on the app because it's so usable and helpful to daily life. Somebody's about to TikTok you. Like I said before. Now, the vision for the rebrand may go all the way back to Musk's creation of the original X.com in 1999, which he hoped would be an all-in-one financial platform. And then that eventually turned out to be what? PayPal, exactly. Now, we're talking $44 billion in the purchase of the social network. And people were saying, oh, if it's just going to be a social network, no, how's he going to get the money? How is it? He's going to run it aground. But if he's going to go by this way, that is rebranding it to become a future super app, there are a lot of risks, of course, risks involved. But man, did you think that way? It's actually going to be like really crazy. Now, for those people who stay in China, I know a couple of people who stayed in China. WeChat is like the app. Like, I'm not saying it's the go-to. I'm saying it's like the app, literally. So you can have multiple apps that can do multiple things. All I just need to do is have a WeChat app. And that's it. Exactly. I can run my life totally on it. And that's what he's trying to do. I know that the West, right? Because we have like the West, the Northeast, and South. If you're talking about global, global positioning, I know the West isn't a big fan of having one person superimpose, right? And having one person be like the all-in-all, grand master kind of thing. But I think if he does this, we'll most likely get to the part where we're getting to a trend where we have multiple super apps. I asked this question in 2022, late ending of 2022. Yeah, I asked two CEOs who were who managed, banking, and commercial services. Are we looking at the points where we actually have a super app on a continent? And we're like, well, we may have like multiple services on an app, but I don't think we're getting there anytime soon. Well, Mew might just be wrong. And for those people who have been saying that, they talk about Musk or Twitter, forcing the person who owned the X, that X handle on Twitter to give it up to Twitter to become Twitter's official handle on Twitter. X's, how do you say this? Like X's official handle on X or on formerly Twitter, now X. I don't know. However, I stand with Elon Musk strongly. And I don't care. I really don't care what you think about this. I know that all of these people with Sabi, just like me, I Sabi. It's really lonely at the top. And I don't think we're really going to care. Or we're just going to do what we got to do. We're going to respect you, Shirley. Don't think... I was just joking. But trust me, I think Elon has his eyes set for a goal. And he would not stop until he achieves that goal. And this is, yes, your motivation for today, for the week, for the weekend, for the rest of your life. Don't stop. Yeah? Just keep going for whatever you want to go for until you achieve your goals.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to catch up on all the live shows right here on africatechradio.com.